Alright, so I haven't done this in a while because I've been mainly focusing on other parts of my project, but we're back in the shed. It is officially the 10th of March. I have here an old piece of aluminum composite panel, which is a just nylon composite in the middle, and then small strips of aluminium on the side. White, yeah, anyway. It was an art thing, but Mum didn't like it, so it's been cut up for usual things. It was longer, but I cut a piece over here, and I was testing all the bench, so that's a soft bend. So yeah, that's just a soft bend, as you can see. That's a sharp bend there. This is a sharp bend, but I heated it first. This is a soft bend, but I heated it. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see a bit in the light there. You can see those wrinkles. Same on the hot bend. There's wrinkles on the hot bend, but on the cold bend, it's perfectly smooth. So I know to bend it cold. And so what I've done over here is I've got I clamped the bottom down with a plank of wood across, clamped it here at the corner, clamped it so that it just follows the line up. I didn't cut it long enough and I haven't ground down these welds here, so I should have made it come up here, and so it would have been flat, bend, and then a small bend here again to straighten it up, but I didn't do that, so just have to work out how to do that. That's no biggie. Yeah, so there's that, and I'm just letting it sit here, and I'm going to let it sit for a while, and then I'm going to try and see if I can attach it using double-sided tape, which is my method. Try and see if I can do double-sided tape here and see what it does to the frame, how strong it is, everything like that. I tried cutting it with a bunch of things. I tried shears, I tried, over here we have a cold chisel, I tried some wire cutters, which didn't work. I tried tin snips, didn't work. I even tried like hedge trimmers, like massive big long scissors for garden. And then what I found out is if you just get a Stanley knife and just run it through there a lot, like 20 times, it'll cut it, and that's how it cuts decently straight and decently clean. Once you have a groove, it's really easy to follow. So that's how I ended up cutting it. So that was pretty good. And there's one more thing. Oh yeah. So I used this to heat it, which is just a heat gun. But I found I was trying to get the paint off of this, and I heated it up a lot, and I found out it peels. But when I touched it, it was way too hot to touch then. So my question now is, what exactly is too hot and what is to this, because I don't want it separated from the nylon, and I want to know what temperature that happens at so that I can see, because like if it happens at like 150 degrees I'm fine, because I'm never going to be, you know, like driving through a volcano, but I will want to know it, because if I go through the desert, I don't want my canopy to start falling apart or warping and bending and the roof sagging. Oh, the roof should be fine because the roof's steel. But yeah, I don't want it like sagging and bending and doing things like that. So I gotta pay attention to that and find out more about the composite panel. Once this test is done, I might do something with all of that. Might see what else I can do with it and see just testing it. Because I know I can do all of this with sheet steel, because I worked with a lot of sheet steel before. Sheet steel's over there, but I've never worked with aluminium composite, so I'm just doing that before I choose on what I buy. Either way, yeah, and those are some new tires. Alright, so I have a scientific experiment ready to set up. I have a temperature gun here that works, right? I have two strips here of the aluminium composite. I have a heat gun here, and so like before, it tore. So I'm going to see if I can just, with two of them, just to get it correct, I'm going to see if I can heat it up, measure the temperature and see what temperature it peels at to work it out to work out whether it's going to be alright for use. Alright, so this is only the first one. It peeled around 60 to 80 degrees. It was kind of jumping between those because of the hot air coming out of the paint gun. And it peeled decently well at like 60. It's cooled down now, and that white stuff is the glue, but the black stuff here is where the glue's on the aluminium. So that's... But I did actually flick up a corner with the cold chisel, and then I was trying to pull it. So that is kind of one way. What I'm going to do this time is, instead of flicking it up and then pulling it once it's hot, I'm going to flick it up, and then I'm going to hold the heat gun there, and then pull it with some pliers, and see when it gives. Okay, so it completely kind of... Oh, it's still hot. It completely let go. Oh, where's the light there? If you can see, just before that white stain, it completely let go at about 70 to 65, and then as it cooled down back to 50, it went back to the white, and it's decently hard to pull it at like 50 degrees Celsius. And so, yeah, my next thing I'm going to try is just holding it out, just clamping it here, holding it out, and see how much it needs to heat up before it sags. Because I don't think I'm going to be reaching 70 degrees, and that's me trying to pull this off. So I want to see if there's any temperature point where under stress, which it won't really be, but I want to be sure that, yeah, it's doing well. And also because it's white, or I'm going to paint it light green, it shouldn't actually heat up that much in the real situation. Alright, so this is the setup. So I got clamp out here, and I just got 2 hinges, just a couple grams. It's probably about 100 grams on the end, and then I'm going to heat it up and see what temperature it sags at. So I've had an interesting development. It's just kind of gone a bit wavy, and it's in between 70 and 65 degrees at the moment. Alright, so it just dropped off there at about 70 degrees, and it wasn't bending, it was just slowly bending, like it is now. As you can see, oh, it's still hot there. You can see this, but, oh fuck, that was hot. As you can see, it's pulling that as I'm bending that. Now there's a gap there in the aluminium. Aluminium. So as you can see, it's just doing that. So it's disconnected because it's gone past 70 degrees. But I'm actually going to let this cool now. I'm going to see if it readheres. So I'm actually going to unclamp it. Quite hot, very, very hot. And I'll see if it readheres without any pressure on it. Yeah, and then we'll just see what happens. Alright, I'm back. It is cool, alright, but did not adhere again, and it's not sticky at all. It's just kind of powdery. So I know the temperatures now, so I'm going to do a little bit of thinking and look around and see how much things heat up. Because I'm really just worried about the desert, because if I go somewhere and it's a 50-degree day, how much is my canopy going to heat up on the sides? Because the roof is going to be steel. The roof will be steel, so that's not the problem, and it will be moving, so we'll have air passing over it, and it will be a light colour. So I don't know how much it's actually going to heat up. I think I should... Oh, we're not going to have any more hot days, so I can't leave it out in the sun for a while. But that would be the ideal scenario, to see if it heats up by the sun.